You're very welcome back. Now, if our next guest doesn't inspire you to push yourself to be the best that you can, no one will. From birth, Katie O'Halloran's parents were told by medics that she would never be able to walk, having been diagnosed with a syndrome which left her without arms and with a deformed right leg. But they were wrong. They didn't anticipate or factor in Katie's sheer will and fighting spirit.
Through intense determination and dedication, 23-year-old Katie proved everybody wrong. She learned to walk and is now taking on the ultimate challenge and fundraising for life-changing bionic arms. Katie's story has captured hearts at home and internationally, and she joins us now along with Michael Cloherty, who has just run, wait for this, 3 marathons in 3 countries in 3 weeks. Fit man. All to raise money for Katie, of course. Before we speak to both of them, here's a short video from Boston's CBS Channel 4.
Katie O'Halloran, I'm 22 years old and I was born with a physical disability called femur fibular ulnar syndrome. I'm currently in the process of fundraising for prosthetic arms, and I'm very lucky as people in the local community have started fundraising in order for me to obtain funds to purchase these arms. A local man, Michael Cloherty, is running 3 marathons in 3 countries in 3 weeks.
When I heard about Katie's story and the campaign that was started to raise money for her, it really touched me, and the idea to raise money for Katie so that she could get her new arms was a great opportunity for people around to help her. So I decided, as a young father with 3 kids, to show my support, and I'm running 3 marathons in 3 countries in 3 weeks. I'm running the Connemara Marathon here at home in Ireland, then I'm doing the London Marathon, and finally I'm doing the Boston Marathon.
These hands will make a huge difference in my life. They will open up so many new doors to me that had been closed before. They will give me the ability to do the small, trivial tasks such as shaking somebody's hands, carrying bags, opening doors, giving somebody a hug.
And here's Katie this morning along with Michael. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Very well indeed, Katie. Now, it was interesting, Katie, I was just looking at the VT there and you were saying that these arms will give you the ability to open so many doors that remain closed to you, but it seems to me you've kind of smashed your way through all of those doors so far because you've achieved a huge amount.
Yeah, I'm very lucky I can do things in my left foot, so I'm very lucky about that.
To have that one limb?
Yeah, to have my left foot, yeah.
And just let people know what you've achieved to date just from an educational perspective. I mean, nothing has held you back at all.
Yeah, I've done my undergraduate in civil law in NUI Galway, and I've done my master's in public law as well in NUI Galway too. I've done my leaving cert and junior cert and all that.
Okay, so you have smashed through all those doors. Even the doctors originally told your parents that you'd never walk, that your life would be very limited and you really wouldn't be able to achieve much at all.
Yeah, when I was around 5 I wasn't walking then at the time, and they told my parents that I would never be able to walk. So then my mom and dad were really sad about that.
Of course.
But then they were in contact with families who had people who had children with disabilities as well, similar to mine, and they told them not to give up hope and to keep trying. So then my mom and dad did, and then I was in a prosthesis on my right leg, which I wear all the time now, but at the time I was also in a callipus on my left leg until I learned how to stand up, and then from standing up I learned how to walk. So it was a slow process.
Did you have a syndrome or just a series of disabilities, or what was the diagnosis?
It's called femur fibular ulnar syndrome. The doctors in England, in Roehampton, they named it after the bones that were missing from my body. So it's a very rare condition. I'm not aware of anyone who has the exact same condition as I do, and at the time then either they didn't know anyone who had the same condition that I did.
So you think you're the only person in the world with this condition?
Yeah, there's similar people who have maybe the same kind of foot that I have, or have the limbs missing as well, but not who have kind of everything together.
Is it related in any way to Total Amelia, like Joanna Reardon? Now she doesn't have any limbs.
No.
But there's no relationship between the two of them?
No.
And do they have any idea what causes it?
They're looking into it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's no reason as to why you were born in this way?
No, they're just looking into it at the moment,
Okay,
yeah.
because so it's brand new?
Yeah.
Does that feel lonely, Katie, thinking there's no one you can speak to who knows what you're going through?
A little bit, but I have other people who have disabilities and I'm in contact with them. So I don't really think it's a matter of the disability, it's more about the person and how they face their own problems, yeah.
You have one prosthetic, as you said, one prosthesis in your right leg. Was it difficult to get used to that? And does it, having gotten used to that, does it give you some sense of what it's going to be like when you get the arms, or will it be completely different?
Well, I'm already practicing right now with the arms on my right. So I've been practicing getting the muscles all strengthened and things like that. But I still have to get used to carrying the weight on my arms. So I have to get used to that. But I'm kind of used to it as well for my leg, because I'm used to carrying the weight on my leg, and I probably do the same kind of process.
How does it work that you control the arms? Because obviously it's got to be attached to nerves.
Yeah.
So is it going to require a fairly extensive surgery or what?
Well, the bionic hands that I'm looking into now are myoelectric, so they're kind of superficial. They're kind of attached by electrodes kind of inside the cast of the mold of the hand. So they pick up just muscle contractions. So say the biceps open with the hand and the triceps close it, and then muscle contraction, co-contraction of the biceps and the triceps.
So you're going to have to learn how to control that.
Yeah, but I already have an assessment done. My muscles are all strong enough to open and close them and do the muscle contraction, and I've been practicing as well.
What will it mean to you, Katie, to have arms? I mean, it sounds like a ridiculous question.
Yeah.
It means that you'll be able to do everything, like you said, the simple things, to shake someone's hand.
Yeah, well, to shake someone's hand, and it will help me go further in my career now as I'm finished with college and everything. It's just more difficult kind of to go out there in the world right now and have a job and things.
Of course it is. I think you're amazing to have done what you've done.
Yeah.
What's the dream career-wise? When you have the arms, what do you want to achieve?
I would like to work for the UN, maybe in disarmament affairs or one of those offices, or the legal office in the UN. So yeah, but in the meantime, maybe just qualify in the bar exam and then work as a barrister, or
And this man here is helping you out.
Can we bring in Mr. Cloherty? Congratulations. You literally finished the Boston Marathon on Sunday evening.
Monday.
Monday, beg your pardon.
Yeah,
so how are you feeling? Are the legs a bit?
A bit tired, but I'm not too bad.
Well, 3 in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know what what sort of rest period you're supposed to take after marathon, but I would imagine it's more than a week before you go and do another one.
About a month downtime is what you're recommended to do. But
a month downtime is what they say, but I know I was fine.
I know you're from a similar area and that Katie worked in your hotel, but what inspired you to help Katie out and to help her raise this money?
Well, you just heard Katie, what she's been through. And when the fundraising campaign started last year, just nearly a year ago, I just, like a lot of people at home, the committee set up at home, and they'd done so much work starting off, and they did so much work for the last year, and a lot of people were doing different things for Katie. And I had 1 or 2 marathons done, and I said, well, if I get to do another marathon, I said, I'll do it for Katie. Why not? And
but 3 in 3 countries in 3 weeks. Yeah,
well, that kind of happened more or less by accident, really, because when I decided I'd do something for Katie, I was always in my mind to do the Boston one. That's what happened last year and stuff like that.
It was a special one to do this year.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So I decided to do the Boston one, and I was hoping to link it in with the huge Irish community over in Boston, especially Galway and Connemara connections in Boston.
The mayor of Boston's from the west originally.
The mayor of Boston, and his dad is from Carna, and his mom is from Osmuck, which was just right next door to us at home. So I was linking it in with that, but when I went to look at the Boston Marathon, the dates, I just realised that the London one was on the week before.
That's a picture of Katie with the Mayor of Boston, actually.
Yeah. And the Connemara one was the week after or before that again. So I said, why not? Let's go for the 3 and go for it.
Well, Michael, I mean, you played sport to a very high level, amateur. You were on the Galway panel. You have an All-Ireland medal, and sport teaches you a lot about the kind of the trials and tribulations of life and how physically hard things can be. So I'm just wondering, did you have as a result of that, have a greater sense of the physical achievements that Katie has overcome?
Of course, yeah, of course. Like people have been saying to me over the last couple of weeks, and while I was training for the marathons, it's a huge challenge. But when
you're saying to yourself, I've done this in the whole of my health, look at what this girl has done.
Yeah, exactly. And like it was compared to what Katie has gone through for all her life, it's like a drop in the ocean. And it was an honour to be able to do it for her. Of course it was tough, there's no marathon easy, but like to see the finish line and to see what is going to hopefully bring for Katie.
You've got the 3 done now, so you can tell us the truth. Was there any stage in the middle of it that you went, oh dear God, what have I got myself into?
No, I can honestly say no.
Which one was the toughest? Connemara was a tough marathon.
Connemara was a tough marathon. The first one was tough, and the weather
was rough. I heard. I missed it this year.
We had the 4 seasons in one day that day, rain, a lot of wind. and it was tough. But getting that one done first was kind of good, and then London then is a huge one. I was really looking forward to that because I hadn't done it. It was all new, and Boston was something else.
That was a special event this year, Boston. I'd say it was quite moving.
Yeah, so it
would have been a privilege to be there watching it, let alone actually running it.
Well, and Katie, you were there, of course.
Yeah, I was there.
And I mean, it must be strange for you seeing someone like Michael doing this for you. You know, when it's not family or, you know, someone who's very close to you. It's a very decent thing, to say the least, that he's doing.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for Michael, and I felt privileged that he felt delighted to undertake such a huge challenge to help sponsor my hands. It was just amazing. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Well, I suppose, Katie, what they will say in return is that they're saying, well, we look at you and we look at what you've done, and it inspires us.
Yeah.
So it's part of the circle of life. So as much as you think you're getting, you're giving back.
Yeah.
Katie, if people want to throw a few quid your way so you can arm yourself and head off to the UN, how can they help you?
There's a Facebook page, Katie Born to Run, and then there's also a website, katieborntorun.org, and they can donate there online with their account details.
How far short are you? Do you know?
We're nearly there now. We're pretty close to 300,000. So
when will you get your arms?
We're looking into arms now. I've already started practicing with the muscles and things, so we're just waiting for the female version of the bionic hand to come on the market. So whenever that is released to the public, I will be able to start then, because they've already started like making the hand with the elbow and the wrist and everything together for one hand first and then the other hand after.
Well, will you come back to us?
I was going to extend the same. Not will you? You're coming back.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah. Because I remember reading about you in the paper a couple of months ago, and I was like, we've got to get her on the show. I just thought it was an absolutely remarkable story that despite everything you've got going on, you've achieved so much in your life and will achieve way more, I have no doubt. Katie, pleasure. And Michael,
nice to meet you.
congrats.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Go rest the legs. Lots of Epsom salt baths.
Let's take the news now. Here's Stephen Murphy.
Thanks, Mark. There are breaking reports this morning that a Virgin passenger plane has been hijacked and forced to land in Bali. The Indonesian military has reported the plane was a Virgin Australia flight out of Brisbane. We'll bring you more on this story in our later news updates. The US has warned Russia that not changing course on Ukraine will be a grave and expensive mistake. It comes as tensions in the region reach new heights. Russia is beginning war games near the Ukrainian border after Ukrainian special forces killed at least 5 pro-Russian rebels near the eastern city of Slavyansk. And Gardaí and Santry and Fitzgibbon Street are asking for the public's help in tracing 2 Dublin men missing in Cavan. 32-year-old Owen O'Connor and 33-year-old Anthony Keegan disappeared on Tuesday, and fears are now growing for their safety. Aidan's here now with the sports news.
Gillette Fusion Pro Glide Power, our best razor with our longest lasting blades. Sponsor sports updates on Ireland AM.
Thanks, Stephen. Morning once again. Alex Ferguson will block any attempts to appoint Roy Keane to the new management team at Old Trafford. The former Manchester United skipper has been linked with a return to the club as a possible number 2 to Louis van Gaal. Ferguson is believed to be in favour of Ryan Giggs and Gary Neville becoming part of the next coaching staff under the new manager when he's appointed. I'm sure the FAI will be relieved to hear that.